Hello, class. Today we are going to learn about insect taxis. We usually see this phenomenon at night, a lot of small insects flying around the street lamp. I also know the expression, a moth flies to the fire and kills itself. So why do these insects risk flying towards the light source? In fact, it is not that these insects do not want to open, but the night insects use the moonlight as a navigation. The moonlight is basically parallel, so that as long as you maintain a certain angle with the light, you can fly out of the straight line, not to go around in circles. But there are many point light sources in our lives, such as fires, lights, etc. If these insects fly around such light at a fixed angle, they will get closer and closer to the center point and finally hit the light source. This is where we see the phenomenon of moths to the fire. This phenomenon is called phototaxis in insects. Insects react to light by moving in the direction of the light source, called positive phototaxis, and many moths and beetles, for example, will actively approach the light source. Some insects will react to light by moving away from the direction of the light source, such as cockroaches, which will avoid the stimulation of the light source, which is called negative phototaxis. In addition, phototaxis also shows that different insects have different responses to different light waves. For example, insects have taxis for special colors. The most common positive taxis are yellow, blue, green. Negative taxis are the most common silver-gray. In production, phototaxis can be used for fish pond farming, and the insects with phototaxis are collected on the surface of the fish pond and used as fish feed. Black light can also be used to collect or kill phototaxis of pests, or use armyworm board to control pests, such as yellow armyworm board can attract aphids, mealworms, etc. Blue armyworm board can attract thrips. Green armyworm board is mainly used to attract small green leafhopper. In addition, the negative taxis of aphids to silver-gray can also be used to cover aphids with silver-gray mulch. At the same time, mulch can increase the ground-reflected light, which is conducive to fruit coloring. In addition to the taxis to light, some insects show a certain response to some chemical stimuli, which is chemotaxis, which is usually related to foraging, courtship, avoidance of enemies, and finding spawning places. These are the fruit fly larvae of the bayberry, and their adults have obvious chemotaxis. Insect chemotaxis is mainly manifested in response to sugar, wine and vinegar or insect sex attractants. Sweet wine vinegar is suitable for insects with sour and sweet taste, such as some moths, flies, beetles, and so on. Think about it. We sometimes make sweet and sour ribs at home. If the good sauce is not used up, it will soon attract a lot of bugs to come over, which is also because they have a tendency to sour and sweet taste. The commonly used ratio of sugar, wine and vinegar can be 1:1:2 for brown sugar. White wine, vinegar, water, and then add 1 portion of rotten juice, the effect is better. Insect pheromones are trace chemicals secreted by insects to induce mating between individuals of the same sex. They are species-specific communication systems. We mimic this chemical, we release it into the field, and the insects flock to it. The sex inducers we release are much stronger than the pheromones released by adult insects in the natural environment, which leads to insects thinking that the desired opposite sex is not far away, so they try their best to find, and finally, because of physical exhaustion, they fail to mate and die to achieve the purpose of prevention and control. It's a simple sex attractor device. There are 2 common shapes of the lure, which contains a sex lure. The common inducers in the production are boat type, cylinder type, power grid type, bag type, basin type, and so on. Let me show you two examples of the use of sex attractants in pest control and production. This is a sex attractant to control pear food worm. It's a longicorn sex lure to control the pine black longicorn. Okay, after class today, please make a bottle of sugar wine and vinegar by yourself. Hang it in a suitable place on campus, and record the hanging time and place. Check the number and species of insects in the bottle after a week. The results can be shared to the WeChat learning group at any time for easy communication. Class, that's all for today's lesson. See you next time.